All right, guys, welcome back to MLG Classics StarCraft 2. Best of the best, counting down the best StarCraft 2 games in MLG's history. We've got a massive 32-game bracket, and we're trying to whittle it down to just one. Thank you so much for helping out and tuning in. Of course, if you're in the chat, special shout-out to you guys. You guys are having a lot of fun. Diceman45, I see you, Silaki, Grey Cubed, Limbonic. There you go, some shout-outs in the Twitch chat. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, guys, remember, you can be voting all this time. If you're watching the rebroadcast, be sure to vote as well. That being said, let's take a look at the bracket to see where we stand. Currently watching bracket 3 of 4 in the round of 32. We just saw QXC Deer, Huck Naniwa, Marine King, Hey Pro, Life, and Flash. And now we're about to get into the third little section of matches here. We got Hero versus Huck. Actually, this is a battle of two classics, true classics. One from 2011, MLG Orlando, and one from 2010, MLG DC. First up, we got Hero versus Huck. This is from Pool Play, a game on Metalopolis, again from 2011, MLG Orlando. And this is a pool full of Protoss players. Huck and Hero are teammates, and Huck trying to make a stand in this pool, a pool involving Huck, July, MC, Hero, Doro, and of course, Liquid, Tyler. So without any further ado, let's head into this game on Metalopolis between Hero and Huck.
StarCraft 2, and yesterday I tried to get the cheer for Blizzard, and it didn't work very well that time. So let's give a cheer on the count of 3 for the people who made the game and for Balance the Patch. 1, 2, 3 for Blizzard Entertainment.
Much better there,
Sean.
Thank
God, that's a relief.
You really put a lot on the line right there. But regardless, on the left side, we are going to make noise. I love both of these players. It is going to be EG Huck. If you're wondering why they were a little timid there for a second, it is, of course, because of the chat. Huck, always quite the character.
Yeah, as we can see from the chat, they are, in fact, each other's father. In the right position, we have the man known for his incredible Warp Prism play, one of the few players to do so well in the open bracket in the previous MLGs and make it to pool play. It is Liquid Hero.
Oh, here comes more of the chat talking about Select, and then Hero says, I love you.
Oh, and Huck, wow. And you know, this is actually a trend. Huck is one of the few players to consistently get friendly banter out of his opponents. And part of you wants to say, oh, he has such personality and flair. But honestly, I think that it makes him feel a lot more comfortable in these sorts of situations. I've seen him consistently do this in ladder matches. Huck has had nerve problems in the past. And doing this sort of in-game chatter can help sort of ease your mind. But he has to be careful, because if you do get penalized for in-game chat, it means that your opponent, he's still going. Look at him. Oh,
you have to click on Huck there. You have to see the heart.
Where's the probe?
Oh,
is it
there's
in the
the
main?
probe.
Where's the? Oh, here it is. All right. Okay, let's follow along this green line.
We have to see the heart. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
You know, it's always impressive to me how accurate he can draw those hearts. If you actually try and do that, that's actually a challenge. So that shows you that his training over in Korea has really paid off.
He almost uses as few waypoints as possible, really minimizing the APM usage there. We see EG's Huck going for the fairly reasonably timed Cybernetics core, nothing too out of the ordinary. As we see, they are just lining up that Cybernetics core timing.
No, Sean, you can't say that in this matchup. You're going to take me by surprise, and I'm going to giggle forever about it. Now, Sean, you were mentioning that PvP has been changing a lot. What are some of the things that you've been seeing?
Well, one of the big things is that the 4-gate is becoming increasingly less common just due to the fact that you cannot warp in on the ramp. It's very, very difficult to continue to pressure in that regard. So, you know, the Blink Stalker play has becoming very popular. You get that mobility. Expanding actually happens.
Right, I know, yeah.
Which is pretty incredible. But in particular, the robotics facility, I think, has made a real shift in the matchup, de-emphasizing the Colossus. Almost every game where I've seen a player go for the Colossus tech, he has suffered a pretty swift defeat.
Yeah, and also, I mean, previously it used to be whoever expands first ends up losing this match, but it definitely is transitioning away from those Colossus. We've actually seen that be utilized in games very recently in this tournament today. Now, we do see Hero throwing down 2 gateways right now. Is he going to be throwing down a 4th? Yes, he is.
Wow.
So he's going to be going for that 4-gate. Now, it's something you don't see nearly as often. Actually, both players are going to be going for a 4-gate right here. And this is something that PvP is known for, but it has gravitated away from it. But, I mean, that's not going to stop it from happening right now.
And, ooh, this is going to get real ugly real fast. Both players swerving around each other. Huck planning that proxy pylon down first. And in the probe station, we see they're both at 20. It is the classic pre-patch 4-gate. Going to take a little bit longer to get to the opponent's base, as Metalopolis does have this very long distance between the two bases. But we're seeing Liquid Hero has not yet built his pylon, and oh no. Here comes the runaround, and oh, Hero is going to be taken well by surprise. There is the pylon going down right now. And it looks like, who on earth, what is happening in this game, Husky?
It is about to get absolutely out of control as Huck has put a pylon up in Hero's base. Hero has done the same thing to Huck. This game is about to get ridiculous, although Huck is going to be getting the jump start here by killing off some very early probes. Looks like Hero wants to return the favor by running his Stalkers into the main base, but Huck is going to have the warp in just slightly before Hero is.
Oh my goodness, there comes 5 Stalkers directly into the main. We see a 6-minute base race going on. And it looks like Huck's going to be pulling his probes away promptly, and looks like the unit advantage does go a little bit to Hero, but once those other 2 Stalkers warp in, there it is. 6 Stalkers, 2 Zealots to 5 Stalkers, 2 Zealots.
Now, neither player has enough to make a Nexus, so we are not going to see a reality show where they are trading bases for our entertainment. Instead, they're just going to try and keep their last building alive, and this game is going to just be silly. This is like Mass Marine versus Mass Marine in TVT. It's pretty goofy right now, but I would say that Huck does have a lot of probes, and that can be very annoying in these final battles.
And, you know, I will say my favorite part of all is the fact that just before this match began, we talked about how sophisticated Protoss has become, that it is steered away from the 4-gate, and in Game 1, they both 4-gate, and it's a base race, and we're at 7 minutes and 25 seconds.
I don't think I've ever actually seen it unfold like this, as both players not quite expecting this, so both players are now revealed. They know where each other's final pylons are. It looks like Huck's going to be moving out with just his Stalkers. Now, I want to give the favor to Huck here a little bit because his other pylons are so far spread out that the second that Hero moves out, his pylons are easily going to be sniped here. Now, it does look like Huck is having vision of the high ground. I honestly don't know how he sees that, but he's able to take that down, and it does go down. Now, I believe there's only a pylon remaining for Hero, aside from his main base, which is just getting electrocuted to death.
That actually could have been a critical blunder by Huck there to have lost a full Stalker. Now, it looks like the overall army size, let's go to this tab. It looks like they both have workers at the very least, but interestingly, there is that extra Stalker there, the extra sentry there for Liquid Hero. And Huck's going to really have to hope that those probes are going to pull through.
Oh, man, I don't even know. I mean, one of the players has to move out. I think what's going to happen is Huck is going to be the one who puts on the pressure, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He does have slightly more units, and again, those probes are actually going to prove to be super effective versus what Hero has, because Hero's probe count is fairly low. But, I mean, really, it's just going to come down to this one wonky battle, or we could accidentally have a draw here, as neither player is going to want to undefend their last building.
Yeah, I actually think that is the smart play for both players in this position, is just to go for a draw. Huck could attempt a suicide to try to take out this pylon. Hero, I think, is almost forced to go for a draw. He's just going to position everything perfectly, hang out, and chill. And that really makes me want to ask, do you have any interesting 3-minute long stories?
Well, I do want to say that while I was giving an interview a little bit earlier, if you guys missed it, there he goes. He's saying it looks like a draw IMO, and you won't come out.
Oh
Hero
my God!
Is we have the language filter on, thankfully.
Yeah,
so this
pretty sure that's enabled.
So thankfully, this is going to be, I would assume, a draw. But I do have to give. Wow, sweetheart, there we go, Raffle. And it's 21 supplies to 27. Is Huck going to go for it, or will he force the draw? Really, it's up to Huck if he wants to do a draw here or not, because Hero, the second he moves out, he's dead. And he knows that, and why would you shoot yourself in the foot like that? So it does look like Huck gonna try and go for it here. We'll see what happens.
Oh, no, this is going to be a really dangerous play by Huck, especially after saying, it looks like a draw. Here I come. Here I come. He's starting to roll on into the front. It looks like he's going for it. And, oh, force field. He's trying to target fire, but he loses. This could be the critical misstep Huck made.
Wow. And interestingly enough, he did not, actually, no, it's really smart for him to put that force field on the ramp because his pylon can be shot from the low ground. If he gets vision, he needs a force field again, and he did. Now, Huck may be able to target down this pylon, but it's going to be really tough. These force fields have to be perfect. We do see Hero able to do it. 1 or 2 more force fields here, but he needs to make sure they are perfectly placed.
It's got to be so careful. You can actually, apparently, you can shoot that pylon due to the fact that he is being revealed right now. I don't think he actually needs high ground vision. And Liquid Hero. Liquid Hero, did you just actually win this game?
Oh,
I
man,
don't believe it.
Huck is in retreat, but he can't leave that pylon undefended. That's the problem, is I think Huck, even if he loses some of his units, can still force a draw. Just because, again, we were seeing him shoot the high ground. Oh no, but Hero decides to go with the ramp.
Hero gets it!
Able to escape out of there when killing 1 Stalker. Hero being so cost effective here. He needs to get the good force field down, but he doesn't quite yet. It is 20 supply to 21. Huck says, look at you.
Wow. That was some absolutely incredible control. Hero going to take out this neutral supply depot to make sure he doesn't trip while trying to micro around.
And so at this rate, all the neutral buildings are going to be taken out on this map. Another neutral supply depot may fall victim to this PvP, but at this point, this just feels like a use map settings map where it's like, defeat your enemy with only 2 stalkers. But
You know, I think exactly as you said, this still might be a draw. I mean, Huck made these poke attempts, but I think that it's going to be really hard for Hero to try to be aggressive. I mean, he knows that he has to be perfect with his force fields. If these Stalkers can just waltz up and pick off this 1 pylon, that's it. It's lights out. And
I don't know. Hero's being ballsy here. Huck is going to turn right around. It does look like Hero knows about it because we do see that Huck has that tower. 1 Stalker right here for Hero getting nearly sniped here. And I believe, is it every time they do damage, it resets the timer on the draw? So the fact that they shot a time or 2 here should be resetting that timer. But Hero needs to be careful because he is a little bit out of position right now.
This is such a weird game. Where for about, looks like almost 10 minutes, there's been absolutely no income from either player.
Yep.
It looks like Hero is going to try to engage in this battle, and it looks like he might get another Stalker, but he's going to continue to pull back. The probes continue to chase, picking off 1 probe. Carefully rearranging to pick them off 1 at a time.
Nice.
Great control. Annihilating these 1 at a time, and it looks like, Hero might be able to take out that pylon. That was my GSL impersonation.
Oh, another Stalker does go down, but there's 1 down for Hero as well. And the Zealot of Hero gets completely trapped and sniped as well. We're down to 17 supply for Hero, only 10 for Huck though. But does Hero lose another Stalker? He does! The units tab 2 Stalkers to 3, but there is a slight advantage for Hero right now. And he's still zapping away that pylon with the 1 lonely probe.
Uh-oh, these probes. Oh, this Stalker from Hero starting to pick away at this pylon.
That means he is attacking both pylons right now. 1 of it is taking damage. It may go down. The Stalker, though, decides to run up here. He's going to try and micro it around. And at the same time, Hero is going to move out in the center of the map with the remainder of his forces.
Some probe-on-probe battle in action. Hero going to try to hide as best he can. Try to keep that Stalker alive. Does not really get that many shots off.
Oh, my God. It is 2 Stalkers and a Zealot versus 2 Stalkers and a Zealot and a Sentry. Only 1 probe difference, but the probes are going to get taken out as well. This is such a tense moment here. Both players have taken out the units in the center of the map as that pylon does go down to the probe. And right now, Hero's trying to bust up the ramp. Here he goes. He's got to be all in right now, trying to do as much damage as he can. We just have to keep an eye on that units tab. Production tab being used the least in any game I've ever cast. And this is going to be it right here.
And it looks like Hero has broken through with the disadvantage. He does it.
Wow.
Wow.
What a game there. Something about PvPs.
At the very end, I'm looking at it right now.
Something
it's
about
probe,
PvPs that
Zealot,
come down to the final
It's
units.
like an RPG.
Huck versus Hero. Hero able to get the victory there, playing very patiently and out-controlling the Canadian Huck in that game. Now, Hero would go on to 2-1 that series, but Huck would have the last laugh, as in that tournament, MLG Orlando 2011, Huck would go on to win the entire event. And guys, that is one of your games that is in consideration for the best StarCraft 2 game in MLG's history. It's going up against Huck versus Select from MLG DC 2010. Stay tuned. We'll be back with that after a quick break.